Knowing the unknowable. Jeffrey Lang reflects on a question that lies at the heart of every spiritual journey. How can we truly know God if He is beyond our understanding? In the beginning, he wrestled with this idea. The Quran describes God as unlike anything we can imagine, transcendent, infinite, incomparable, and that felt distant. How do you build a relationship with a being so far beyond the limits of human reason?
Okay, what does the Quran tell us about God? Now, this is where it gets tricky. Because the Quran tells us, and naturally it's so, that nothing compares with God. That He is beyond rational definition, or even understanding, I would assume. Nothing compares to Him. Reason cannot encompass Him. If all the trees were pens, and all the sea was ink, and seven seas like it, ink as well, you could never exhaust the words of God, the Quran tells us. You could never, in your reason, encompass Him. What good does that do me? Here I'm trying to see the connection between us doing good and our relationship with God, and there better be an intrinsic connection, or I'm walking from this Quran. Well, I didn't believe in God at this point anyway. But there better be an intrinsic connection, or the author has failed to guide as he said he would. But God is incomparable. We cannot come to know God. We hardly understand the human mind. How can we understand God? How can we come to know God? I could come to know you, because I have some sort of connection to you. We are alike. I could approach you physically, because you're a physical creature. I could walk over to you. Don't get scared. All right? I just move my body closer to yours. I could approach you rationally, through the intellect, right? By discussion and argumentation and so forth, right? By the exercise of reason. I could approach you guys, any of you, in terms of feelings, right? By appealing to your emotions, right? Because we share them both. But in order to approach somebody, you got to approach them by what they are. We could come to understand another because we share something. We could approach a creature or a being. We approach a being by what they and we are. But how do you approach God? We're finite, He's infinite. We're corporeal creatures, He's incorporeal. Right? We're limited to this time and space environment, He transcends it. Now, just about anything you can think of that we possess, He possesses it to an infinite degree, transcends that. We don't compare. How can we come to know God? How can we have this relationship you talked about?
But as he continued to reflect, something shifted. He realized the Quran doesn't leave this as a mystery. It offers a way forward, a window into the divine, through what it calls the most beautiful names of God. Ar-Rahman, the most merciful. Al-Wadud, the most loving. Al-Ghaffar, the forgiving. Al-Adl, the just. These are not just titles, they are attributes, reflections of God's nature, and they are not merely to be admired, they are to be believed.
And then I thought, wait a minute. The Quran does provide us some information about God. But I had neglected it, ignored it, time and time again. There are thousands of descriptions in the Quran about God that I just had never seen. If I just opened to the beginning of any surah, or looked on almost any page and came to the completion of a verse, I would have found many, many such references. You all the Muslims, I'm sure, know what I'm talking about. Because throughout the Quran, time and time again, punctuating passages, crowning passages, beginning surahs, you find what the Quran refers to as the beautiful names of God. You can't miss them. And they tell us something about God, right? For our benefit. And as I thought about them in my head, I began to list them in my head. The beautiful names of God. And I thought about them in my head. What are they? God is the loving. God is the compassionate. God is the forgiving. God is the caring. There's dozens and dozens of them. God is the just. He is the truth, or the truthful. He is the protector. He is the kind. God is the forgiving. Just read through the Qur'an. You can't miss these. He is the merciful. And on and on and on. I didn't complete this list, and I didn't complete this one either. But I looked in my mind at the two lists I visualized for the qualities God wants us to develop and the qualities that the Qur'an uses to describe God. And then I just immediately saw the picture. So what the author was telling us. Because the author is telling us that yes, your reason may not be able to fully encompass God, but you are to grow and learn love. Grow in your ability to learn and show love. Why? Because God is the loving. The more you grow in compassion, the more you come to receive and experience and understand God's infinite compassion. Because the Qur'an lets us know that all compassion ultimately comes from God, originates from God. The more you grow in forgiveness, the more you come to receive and experience and to know the forgiving, who is God. The more you grow in your ability to care for others, the more you grow in your experience of and understanding of and ability to know the caring. You don't reach it through reason, you reach it through experience. Same way I understand you in this audience. I don't know you rationally. I know you because we share common experiences. God is the caring, infinite source of caring according to Qur'an, but we could grow in our ability to care for others. The more we grow in justice, the more we come to understand, experience, and to know the just. The more we grow in truth, the more we come to know, experience, and represent the truthful. And the Quran says we're here to represent God. The more we know of protectiveness of the weak and the downtrodden, the more we come to know the protector. The more we know of kindness, the more we come to know, experience, and receive the beauty that only the kind could give us. Forgiveness, forgiving, merciful, merciful, compassionate, compassionate, and on and on.
Jeffrey Lang comes to understand. To know God is not only to recognize these names, but to embody them. When we show mercy, we glimpse His mercy. When we forgive, we draw near to His forgiveness. When we act justly, we mirror His justice. And when we love, we participate in a love that originates from Him. The capacity to give and receive love, the ability to grow in compassion and character, these vary between all living beings. But in humans, there is a unique potential, a potential to evolve spiritually and morally. The Quran teaches that through this growth, we don't just live better lives, we come closer to understanding God Himself. And in the afterlife, where the distractions and limitations of this world fall away, this connection deepens even more.
When I explained that to my daughters, they said, "Daddy, what are you trying to say?" And I told them this. I said, pretend that we have a dog, some goldfish, and 3 daughters. Pretend that. I do have 3 daughters. So at least they could relate to that. I told them, no matter how much of my love, no matter how much of my compassion, no how much of my comparing, how much of my real self I shower on that goldfish could only experience my love, my compassion, my caring, my justice to a very limited degree. because it's a very primitive creature. It only knows and could learn and could experience love, compassion, forgiveness, etc. to a very minuscule level. But my dog, Rex, I don't have a dog, but I had one, Rex, once. But my dog, he could know and experience and feel my love, my compassion, my caring, myself, my being to a much higher level because he's a more developed creature. He knows through his own life experiences, he experiences through his own life experiences a certain amount of love, compassion, forgiveness, not just as a receiver, but as a giver as well, which is more important. Because when you give love, you're experiencing loving on a whole nother level than just receiving. You're learning it. But I told her, look at you three guys. Look at you three guys, I said to my daughters. As you grow, you will come to learn, know, and experience love, compassion, forgiveness on a much higher level. And a higher level. And it's up to you how high you want to go. But the more you grow in love, compassion, mercy, forgiveness, etc., the more you could experience whatever love, mercy, compassion, forgiveness, etc., that I have to give to you. The more you could experience me, the more you could experience my being. And that's essentially what the author seems to be telling us, that the more we grow in all these, the more we could experience the infinite love, compassion, forgiveness, caring, justice that is God.
Jeffrey Lang finds peace in this realization that God's nature is not unknowable. It's written in our potential, and the path to Him is not through intellect alone, but through transformation. To become more loving, more compassionate, more forgiving, more just. This is the journey the Qur'an invites us to take, not just to believe in God, but to become, by His guidance, more like the One who made us. In that, Jeffrey Lang finds clarity, and in that clarity, his belief in the Qur'an's wisdom is beautifully reaffirmed. Thank you for watching. Let's make a difference together. If this video inspired you, hit like, follow, and share it with others. Your support helps spread knowledge and positivity, building a community where we all grow. Every like, follow, and share makes an impact. Let's keep the momentum going.